Have you ever wondered if you could shape your reality, manifest your desires, and create quantum events that defy the ordinary? Our universe is governed by the laws of quantum physics, a realm where the unimaginable becomes possible. But how can we tap into this incredible power? In this captivating video, we're going to delve into the intriguing exercise of manipulating your energy, how you can use your attention to create the reality you want, because learning to direct your attention is the most powerful. Ancient yogis and Buddhist monks, for example, have always emphasized one word: observation. To observe something effectively, we must dedicate our attention to it. This means that when we focus our attention correctly, we have the ability to manifest desired quantum events in our lives. So, let's begin. Now, let's explore how our attention actually influences the version of reality that materializes. However, to comprehend this, we need to grasp how energy flows. Whenever you feel stuck in life, as if you're constantly working towards something that remains elusive, or experience recurring situations like a roller coaster ride, it's crucial to understand where the energy becomes stagnant. When energy can flow as it should, it prevents stagnation, and when it stagnates, we encounter the same circumstances. So, what directs the flow of energy? It's our attention. Wherever our attention goes, energy follows. Our focus and attention determine where energy flows. What most people don't know is that the nature of our attention consists of two main types: polar and non-polar attention. Polar attention wields the power to both attract and repel reality. Just like a problem, when turned on its side, becomes a solution, polar attention can attract one thing while repelling another. Let's delve deeper into this concept. In addition to polar attention, there is non-polar attention, which remains completely neutral and possesses the ability to dissolve reality. Now, in terms of manifesting quantum events in our lives, consider two types of polar attention: positive attention and negative attention. It's worth noting that life doesn't distinguish the true nature of our attention, it cares about the content. As explained in a previous video, if we harbor negative feelings towards something, we will attract more related events. Conversely, we'll attract more of what we love. This is at the core of our human condition. Throughout our lives, we've been conditioned to operate in fear and survival mode, primarily due to its biological basis. Survival instincts have shaped our behavior, and the most powerful way to survive is to eliminate and avoid threats. Consequently, many of us continue to exist in a protective mode, steering clear of conflict and risk. This conditioning keeps us in a perpetual state of worry, as we're constantly exposed to fear-based information in the news and on social media. It's how external influences can manipulate and control us. There are numerous individuals who are willing to defend what they love and take pride in, but this can sometimes blind them to the true nature of events. It's easy to manipulate individuals when they're angry, just as it is when they're afraid. Fear, anger, and pride are the emotional states that society often uses to keep us trapped, focusing our attention on actions we might not always desire. Many people find themselves stuck in repetitive patterns of relationships because they hold on to past traumas. Their attention becomes fixated on avoiding the same type of relationship they experienced before, which inadvertently keeps attracting similar partners and dynamics. Often, individuals are haunted by unresolved traumas, causing them to fear that they haven't properly processed these experiences. This is where neutral or non-polar attention becomes significant. To delve deeper into this, let's understand that there are two distinct types of attention: positive and negative. Life is only concerned with the content of our attention, focusing on what receives the most emphasis. Imagine you're at a crossroads in life, facing a challenge at work related to a coworker or any other issue. If you choose to perceive it positively, emphasizing that this situation offers an opportunity for personal growth and strength, you will attract the energy and reality reflecting this positive attitude. Conversely, if you view the same situation negatively, dwelling on how terrible it is, believing it will be a disaster with no way out, then you'll attract the energy that mirrors this negative mindset. It's essential to realize that life doesn't differentiate between positive and negative attention, it responds to the content of your focus. In other words, if you believe that a situation can lead to personal growth, your life's trajectory will lean towards a more positive outcome. More of what you feel and think about will manifest. On the contrary, if you harbor negative feelings and view something as bad, it's likely to lead to negative outcomes. It's crucial to recognize the role of fear in this process. It can perpetuate negativity and cause a self-fulfilling prophecy. When we experience a feeling, we often try to rationalize its presence by contemplating other factors that might intensify that emotion. But why do we engage in this behavior? As human beings, we are inherently emotional creatures, and these feelings contribute to our sense of being alive. They are intertwined with our survival instincts, forming part of our biological makeup. In a state of fear, we tend to compile a list of potential adverse outcomes, leading us down a spiral of negativity. This happens because the negative attention we give to these thoughts starts influencing the content of our focus. The core issue here is the need for alignment between the heart and the mind. When a feeling arises in your heart, your mind quickly generates negative thoughts in response. And this, in turn, brings those thoughts into reality. This shift propels you into a corresponding lifeline, where more negative events tend to unfold. However, the key aspect here is nonpolar neutral attention. When we view something that has happened to us with nonpolar neutral attention, it merely enters our lives and passes through. It holds no power over us. For instance, in an unpleasant situation, you can simply observe it, and accept it. There's neither a positive nor negative reaction toward it, and you would continue on your existing life path with minimal change. The situation dissolves effortlessly. Many people resist their past traumas and fears by giving them undue attention. Consider how this occurs. When something unpleasant from the past resurfaces, we often attempt to avoid it because the associated feelings are intense, and we may not know how to cope with them. Ironically, running away from these experiences constitutes resistance, which only strengthens their hold on us. By doing this, we unwittingly give these past events more power, and they exert an opposing force on us. We spend much of our lives haunted by past events we dislike, essentially living in a state of trauma. As a result, situations that reinforce this trauma continue to surface. Remember that there are always two sides to a coin. The choice of how to perceive something is entirely yours. Now that you grasp this concept, let's discuss how to use it effectively to shape your reality. The first step is to identify polar and nonpolar attention. This is crucial. So, pay close attention. There are three main steps to using this understanding, and by following them, you'll redirect the energy you invest in negative attention, freeing up your energy to nurture the positive reality you want to create. Let's explore how this process works. The first step is acceptance. When we find ourselves in a situation that feels like an abyss, like we've hit rock bottom, we need to acknowledge that it has occurred. Acceptance means letting go of resistance. You cannot simultaneously resist and accept something. Acceptance serves as the antidote to resistance. Please, take a moment to comprehend this. We're not accumulating energy in this process. The only energy being utilized is that which redirects us, clearing the path for your desired reality to manifest. Your role is to step aside and allow these manifestations to come into existence. It all begins with total acceptance of your current situation. Whatever problems are in your life right now, whatever you feel stuck in, or whatever your worst nightmare is. Imagine that this has happened. You're totally on board with it happening and you see how life goes on despite it happening. You're no longer worried about your worst nightmare. You're no longer haunted by it. This is absolutely fundamental because most people think, if I accept the worst case scenario, won't I be attracting it into my life? No, you won't. On the contrary, if you accept the worst case scenario, you will no longer be feeding it with the energy of your resistance. If you continue to resist it, you will continue to feed it. Which makes it more likely to happen. But if you just accept it and get out of the way, that's where neutral attention comes in. Acceptance is neutral attention. To make a change in any area of our lives, we have to start with acceptance. Total, complete, integral acceptance of this exact moment. We can't change the present moment, no matter how hard we try, because the present is constantly changing. When you try to grasp it, it has already become the past. There's no changing this present moment. What you can do, what is in your power, is to choose what you would like in the next moment. We tend to fool ourselves into believing that if something happens, we failed. We get attached, we identify with the things we do. Come up with the worst case scenario and accept it completely. That way, you reduce all the importance. The second step is to realize how this setback or unfavorable event could potentially be a blessing in disguise. Any event that happens is a neutral event. We make it positive, negative or neutral by the nature of our attention. Instead of looking at it as, this is bad, we can look at it as, how can this potentially be an advantage? How can this be good in my life now? What do I mean by a blessing in disguise? Sometimes, something happens to protect us. Maybe there's something bad in that situation that God or the universe is preventing us from experiencing. Maybe there's a reason why it happened. Have you ever considered that, like any event in your life, maybe this is happening for a reason? If you had not missed that bus, the bus could have been in an accident, or something bad could have happened, and the universe is trying to protect you. How do you know? This is easier to do once you've already reached a state of acceptance. If you're in a state where the wound is fresh, and something bad has just happened, don't expect yourself to look for blessings in disguise. Just reach a point of acceptance and understand that it really happened. When you reach a more neutral state, you can start to think about how this could potentially be positive. The final step is to continually redirect our attention to what is desired. If I'm in a state of total equanimity and acceptance, I'll have my attention freed up to completely choose what is desired. When you become really good at doing this, you will become unstoppable. Nothing can stop you. This process determines which life path you follow, which quantum event manifests, which quantum event you experience in your life, and it all has to do with your attention. There's a good reason why many ancient cultures and religions talk about attention. About paying attention to something, about observing something, being in a mode of observation. Here, we're combining both. We use non-polar attention, and then go into acceptance. This is neither good nor bad, we just accept that it happened. Then we start to think about the possible blessings in disguise, and finally, we come to the positive mode when we are in a state of equanimity. This process is one of the most powerful tools we can use to create the reality we desire. As a co-creator of reality, attention is your most powerful tool. When you learn to direct it effectively, you can manifest the life you want. So, the message I want to leave you with today is, if you feel bad about yourself today, allow yourself to accept that you're feeling bad. And once you're in a state of equanimity, then you can focus on what's desired instead. But if you try to hide, repress or suppress what you're feeling, it will come back to haunt you in the future. At this point, whatever you're doing can be a form of resistance. Even if you're just creating positive affirmations in the mirror, you're actually resisting feeling something by saying the affirmation. That's what might be happening. This method applied continuously has the power to completely change your life. When you learn to accept, redirect and choose what is desired, you are releasing energy that was previously wasted on resistance. You are using your attention effectively to create the reality you want. Remember, to accept is not to resign yourself to defeat, but to recognize the present reality. It is in this space of acceptance that our vision becomes clearer. And the journey to what we want reveals itself. When we embrace the worst-case scenario, we release the energy that was previously wasted fighting against it. And that's when our attention becomes the driving force for change. We redirect our focus to what we want, and reality reconfigures itself in response. As co-creators of our own reality, we are endowed with the ability to choose our path, shape our experiences, and define our destinies. The true transformation begins when we choose to direct our attention to what really matters in our lives. Move forward with confidence and purpose, for you are the architect of your own destiny. Thank you for joining us on this voyage into the fascinating world of manipulating energy to create quantum events in your reality. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more mind-bending content. And always share your thoughts and experiences with me in the comments section. So, keep exploring, keep expanding, and keep creating the reality you've always wanted. Until next time, stay curious, stay empowered, and let the quantum universe work its wonders in your life.